Watching News at Prime, let's get into this conversation now. Democratic Alliance Federal Council Chairperson Hellen Zille could run for the position of Johannesburg Mayor in the 2026 local government elections. She says she's been approached to become the party's candidate. Well, Zille joins us now for more on this story, which first emerged in the City Press newspaper. Well, it's no longer a newspaper now, it is a news site. Thank you very much for your time, Hellen Zille. Good to talk to you. It's been a while. Can I start with some quick-fire service delivery challenges that face Johannesburg before we get to the politics? And you'll understand why I'm doing this. There's infrastructure decay in the city of Joburg, and some of that is experienced now through water cuts. What would your solution be to the water challenges facing this city?
Well, the most important thing is maintenance and building of new infrastructure where it's needed. And the maintenance hasn't been done for many years and for many reasons. And the most critical thing is that the revenue for utility services, including water, hasn't been used and hasn't been spent on fixing the water infrastructure and on extending the water infrastructure. So that's the core problem. And what you first have to do is ring fence the revenue services so that that money can be used for those services and so that it isn't frittered away into a huge bottomless pit in the city of Johannesburg and the personnel base just gets extended indefinitely. That is critical. So you've got to put your resources and your revenue from utilities into utilities.
Yeah. Let's talk frequent power cuts. This is partly in the hands of big cities like Johannesburg, Cape Town. And how would you help speed up this process of ensuring that the city becomes less and less reliant on Eskom?
Well, exactly the same. I mean, the crucial thing is that the city must ring fence the revenue from electricity to fix electricity and to look for different sources of electricity. Now, in Cape Town, they have gone 2 stages of load shedding lower than nationally because of electricity from various other sources. One of the most important things we've done is encouraged people who get solar panels to stay on the grid and to feed in their excess electricity into the grid. And so the city provides a feed-in tariff, which is an incentive to do that. And it's also a good way of cross-subsidizing electricity and keeping people on the grid. So the people do have a backup service if something goes wrong with their internal reticulation, but they also contribute to generating more electricity for the city. That's one of the ways of doing it.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the filth in the city of Johannesburg. That was also expressed in no uncertain terms by President Cyril Ramaphosa, who had to visit the city in the dead of night. That's still not been explained as to why he did that, but anyway, he did that. How long would residents need to give you to clean up this city?
Well, obviously, a mayor can't clean up a city without the help of the residents, because who throws all the rubbish onto the ground? Who dumps? Who doesn't put refuse in refuse bins? It's not the city councillors, I can assure you of that. So the first thing is that people have to understand that they can't dump and they can't throw rubbish around. And obviously, to make that possible, we have to provide a very reliable service wherever we are. And there's got to be enough skips, enough refuse collection, enough bags, all of those sorts of things. That is the duty of the city. But the duty of the citizen is also to take personal responsibility. It's not good enough for infrastructure to be vandalized, infrastructure to be broken, rubbish to be strewn around, and then people say, well, what is the government going to do about it?